Okay, so we've known for a little while now that there's been a strike team devising a strategy to fix Payday 3 and just get the game to a better state. Well, this week we've been given details on the current plans for the aptly titled Operation Medic Bag. This blog post makes very few promises in regards to when we can expect to see these changes, but other than that is full of some really comforting information, so let's see what's in store for the future of Payday 3. Starbreeze have been looking at a lot of different community sources, whether that be YouTube comments, tweets, Reddit posts, or their feature upvote page, and have seemingly identified 4 major categories of things within the game that need improving. Optimization and reliability, technical things like crashing, performance, matchmaking and UI, teamwork and co-op, so communication, whether that be voice chat, text chat, or the interaction wheel, replayability and progression, persistent lobbies and major overhauls to the infamy system, and finally, fantasy and heisting. The return of CrimeNet is mentioned, as well as some more features to enhance the heisting fantasy, which I'm really hoping includes small things like seeing the bag values when securing loot or picking up loose cash and so on and so forth. I think these are definitely the right areas to be working on, and the rest of this blog post highlights in more depth the steps that Starbreeze are taking to improve the game, starting with the highly requested solo and offline mode. We've finally got more information other than it's on the table. Offline mode, or as it will be known in Payday 3, solo mode, will be making its way into the game through a 2-step process. Starting off, solo mode will just be a way to bypass the need to connect to a server. You'll still need a constant internet connection for the purposes of progression and unlocks and so on, but when Phase 2 rolls out, we'll be able to play entirely offline, only needing to connect occasionally to servers to sync progression. This is absolutely fantastic news, and honestly, news that I never thought we'd get. From the way Starbreeze spoke about an offline mode up until this point, I didn't think it would ever come to the game. According to this blog post, this solo mode has been being looked into for the last few months, and there's more news to share in the near future, so perhaps we'll see the implementation of solo mode Phase 1 sooner rather than later. When it comes to online servers and matchmaking, though, Starbreeze have acknowledged that their matchmaking isn't great, but they have some social and cooperative features in the pipeline that will reshape the matchmaking system, including a quick play system and later down the line a CrimeNet style server browser. Matchmaking is a major pain point of Payday 3 at the moment, with 11 heists and 4 difficulties. That means there are currently 44 potential matchmaking pools, and with the player numbers as thin as they currently are, it's no wonder that I've still been unable to find a single heist with other players through public matchmaking. On the subject of Payday 3's player count though, over the last few weeks here on the channel, we've been cheekily trying to push towards having more subscribers than Payday 3 has active players, and so if you are enjoying the video and aren't subscribed yet, perhaps now's the time. Moving on to progression, it's no secret that the challenge system just doesn't cut it. Despite reaching level 109 myself and completing all but a handful of the combat challenges, I still believe that the challenge system fundamentally fails as a progression system in Payday 3, so I'm pleased to see that challenges will be removed in favour of a more traditional progression system. This change also comes with a re-evaluation of heist payouts for infamy points, as well as infamy points scaling with the amount of bags secured, as well as other new bonuses for loud playstyles, which I'm hoping are things such as bonuses for no players going down, or for performing certain feats like taking out a certain amount of enemies. Honestly, I was a little worried that Starbreeze would just straight up remove the challenges altogether, thus rendering any time players spent grinding them out wasted, but we're actually seeing them repurposed to provide cosmetic rewards for hardcore accomplishments, whatever that may mean. Obviously, this still could mean that the current challenges will be replaced, which I'd find a little concerning, but I guess we'll need to wait to hear more about that in the future. Changes to the UI are coming. Not too much detail has been given about this just yet, but from the way the blog post is worded, it's clear that these aren't just menu updates. There'll be UI changes within the Heist HUD too. And speaking of gameplay changes, obviously we still have 3 more DLCs planned for the year of 2024, one of which I estimate we'll see next month, given that the Silver Season Pass promises 2 DLCs within the first 6 months of Payday 3's lifecycle, which is next month. And given that that is a paid pass, I doubt that Starbreeze will want to fail to deliver on that promise. As for free content, the blog post confirmed Starbreeze's intention to deliver another free heist in 2024. I'm hoping that we get more than one, but I can understand Starbreeze's hesitation to confirm that, so the mention of one is nice nonetheless. We'll also be getting new skill lines, cosmetic items, rewards, and an LMG primary weapon. It's nice to have the LMG confirmed to not be an overkill weapon, but that does it for the free content mentioned. Bouncing reporting back to paid content, not only does Starbreeze acknowledge that the price point of the first DLC didn't exactly meet player expectations, and that they're reviewing the price point of future DLCs, but they also comment on the microtransactions, stating that they'll revisit the topic in 2025, when Payday 3 is hopefully in a better state. My last video was actually on the topic of Payday 3's microtransaction system, and how that may be implemented into the game, and so if you are interested in hearing more about that, I'll leave a link to that video in the description. Of course, to get all of these changes into the game, they obviously need people to be working on them, and unfortunately that comes at a cost. For now, the resources dedicated to the Unreal Engine 5 upgrade have been moved to the development of these fixes, and once Payday 3 is in a better state, development on the Unreal Engine 5 update will continue. I think this is definitely the right call. Starbreeze put it perfectly in their blog post by saying that the Unreal Engine 5 update isn't going to fix the game, so they'll come back to it later. As for the initial focus of Operation Medic Bag, Starbreeze have listed the following goals that they'd like to have achieved by summer 2024, and they are Quick Play version 1, loadout renaming, recurring smaller content drops, that's a big one, controller improvements, vote to kick, rotating stealth modifiers, an unready button, play again feature, merge players into party post-match, daily activities with rewards, mask vendor with weekly rotating inventory, and communication wheel improvements. Again, that's a version 1 and something that's going to continue to be developed in the future. Some of those are of course features like loadout renaming and a vote to kick system, but obviously some of those are larger goals than just a single update, like recurring smaller content drops and communication wheel improvements and quick play version 1. Obviously there'll be multiple versions of that going forward, so some of those are sort of things you can tick off a checklist, some of those are a little bit more subjective, and so I guess for now we're waiting for more information on those things, which we'll hopefully be getting in the future, according to the blog post at the very least. The blog post ends by mentioning that this week there'll be a Reddit AMA and a developer blog post, which we'll discuss in my next video. For now, virtually nothing has been said about the timeline for Operation Medic Bag, and so I'm skeptical to get too excited, but I am hopeful for the future. Starbreeze have outlined a really strong set of improvements in this blog post, and now we just need to see them bring these to the game. And so with that all said, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, drop a like on the video. If you disliked the video, drop a dislike on the video. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you in the next video.